Yeah, I don't know. He did text and ask if there was an executive. He texted and asked if there was an executive session. I told him no, so he didn't forget us.
Mayor?
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Kimberly?
Hey,
Councilman?
My name Hi, Kristen. How are you? Yeah, it's okay. It's good.
I do. I'm like right here. Best seat in the house.
front and center.
Yeah.
When do you guys turn the mic off? I'm showing one's out.
This one's out.
Okay.
Steve's not going to be here.
Okay, no problem. I might actually put that one over there then.
Yeah, I'll put it back on.
Oh. Okay, wait.
There it comes. Right on. I should have told him there was an executive session. Thank you.
Hey, you ran into
5 o'clock.
we're early, which is not
Hi, Tim. Good to see you.
I'm ready.
Good evening. I'd like to call this evening's City of Uniontown's regular City Council meeting of October 5th, 2023 to order at 5 p.m. Roll call.
Mr. Billy?
Here.
Mr. Vasaki? Mr. Winfrey?
Here.
Mr. Shuhon?
Here.
Mayor Gurke?
Here. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any comments on agenda items only? If not, I have a few words to say, and then we'll get to the meeting. We'll start off with our cleanup day that we had this past Saturday. We had 11 in attendance. I want to thank Scott, Miranda, Pastor Andrew and his team from Grace Brethren Church, Pastor Winfrey, Trace Thomas, Joe Shuhon, and Fred Campert for attending, and myself. With special thanks to County Hauling. They were really good. We rode around with them, and they picked up over 10 tons of garbage in one truck, so we picked up a lot of furniture and mattresses and things that were just thrown in the alleys, and got those cleaned up. And it was a successful day and an enjoyable day. Just on a side note, recycling cans, if you haven't received a recycling can yet, we have plenty remaining, and if you wanted to get one, stop down to City Hall, bring proper ID with you, and if you need them delivered, we'll find a way to get them to your house. Trick or treat night. It takes place on Tuesday, October 31st from 5:30 to 7:30 throughout the city, and we'll do it with North Union and South Union is doing it at the same time. So that's nice that everyone has their own neighborhoods to go trick-or-treating. Last year was the first year, and I don't know how long, that the city had a citywide trick-or-treat night instead of just the neighborhoods doing it. It worked out real well. And the police and fire were out, and they were very well seen in the communities. If you want to participate, leave your porch light on, and the trick-or-treaters will know to come to your house and get their treats. Halloween parade, October 25th at 5 p.m. Come early because that's a really well-attended event here in the city. And before the Halloween parade, the firemen will hold a trick-or-treat, trunk-or-treat event down at the firehouse, which is always a well-attended event. Sheepskin Trail. I know there's been a lot of talk of, like when we're going to get done, and we do it in different sections. In this past week or so, the street department started working on the section between Fayette Street and Beeson Boulevard. So that's getting completed, and then the big portion is from Beeson Boulevard down to the North Union corridor, which runs behind the train station. And the county's working hard on getting us grant funding to get that completed, and we're looking forward to that happening. We had a real nice event on Wednesday on September 20th. It's called Nemacolin Days. They came down and had a real nice event at Bailey Park. I'd like to thank Nemacolin themselves, the Hardy family in particular, for doing that. Maggie Hardy, Trey Matthew, and Dawn Rice for putting that together. And thank you for all the businesses and the families that participated. And it's a true meaning of Community Day, where everyone came out, had a real nice time. Softball game was played. Unfortunately, the city lost, but I think we lost last year also, but I think next year, whenever we have the game, I think Uniontown will win. They always say the third time is the charm, so we're looking forward to that. And a special thanks to Joe Walkus. He really put a lot of time into putting this together and getting our park to making it look the way it looks. And I can never thank Joe enough for all the things that he does for the park and for the city. Park and Rec Board. People have come to me, they wanted to get a Park and Rec Board started back up again. So tonight we're going to, hopefully we'll approve to have the board reorganized. And I want to thank Kelly Trott and Greg Rudinsky for stepping forward to serve on that board. As always, I always ask for people to serve on boards. Bring your letter of interest into City Hall, and we will find a place for you to serve. And that's all. It's always good to have people, get more people involved. Faith in Blue this Saturday at Bailey Park, 1 to 4. It's free to the public. There'll be free food. John McCune will be our cook for that day. And the event is always highlighted by a kickball tournament. And you can register. It's for kids from age 6 to 12. You can register on the Love Fayette website, or you just show up and we'll find a place for your child to play. Right now we have 2 referees, Leroy Townsend, Jeremiah Farrell. We probably need a couple more, so if someone's interested in refereeing the kickball games, just come and see me and we'll get you in place. That's an event that's always nice and well attended, so hopefully everyone will turn out for that. That's about all I have. Thank you.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to receive the report of the treasurer for the month of September 2023. Be and the same is hereby received and filed. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to accept the minutes of the September 7, 2023 regular council meeting and the September 21, 2023 special council meeting. Be and the same is hereby accepted and filed. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown. Council hereby directs the Director of Accounts and Finance to make payment of the following invoices for services rendered or products procured for the City of Uniontown for September 2023 invoices. In the General Fund, $49,506.43. Sewer fund, $9,533.60. Recreation, $2,476.72. Highway, $15,616.42. Off-street, $2,588.04. Recycling, $1,412.60. Library, $5,769.41. Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to approve a refund for the following sewage customer. This customer prepaid for a sewage account before the sale of the property for Roldan Medina in the amount of $63.20. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to accept the resignation of Sergeant Wayne Brown from the Uniontown Police Department effective October 10, 2023. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to authorize and approve transfer to retired Police Sergeant Wayne Brown his current duty issued firearm Smith & Wesson 9mm, serial number NLK5490. Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to authorize Police K-9 dog SEMO be retired from service effective October 10, 2023, and be given to his partner handler, Sergeant Wayne Brown, at no cost. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Chief, do we have another K-9 in place?
We do not have another canine at this point. In my personal opinion, I believe the department is very young. I need to focus on staffing for manpower, not staffing with a dog at this current juncture. We do have a canine fund that is sitting active. That money will remain in that account untouched, which I will explore with council again the revitalization of a canine program when I believe the department and the officers are ready to take on that position. It's a large responsibility for an officer, and I believe that at this point we need to focus on training the 3 open vacancy, new hire positions that are on the agenda later, just as a matter of importance before I work on putting it up.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to accept the resignation of Patrolman Colton Krekel from the Uniontown Police Department effective October 27, 2023. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to hire Rhett Geary, Matthew Morelli, and Ty Mickens as patrolmen for the Uniontown Police Department beginning October 16, October 23, and October 23, respectively, with a 6-month probationary period at a starting salary as indicated by contract at $25.05 per hour, pending successful completion of a medical and psychological exam. Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Swearing in, Mayor?
We'll swear in the new officers now.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of the following with fidelity. And I do further swear or affirm that I do not advocate nor am I knowingly a member of any organization that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States or the Commonwealth by force or violence or other unconstitutional means, or seeking by force or violence to deny other
Thank you.
Ready, Mayor? Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown, excuse me, to hire Wayne Brown as part-time code enforcement officer in the City of Uniontown for up to 29 hours per week at a salary of $21 per hour. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to approve end-of-season closing for baseball and softball in fields at Bailey Park Ball Fields for $3,000 by Thomas's Pro Turf, Inc. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yeah, before I vote, this agenda item is very necessary to keep the fields, like you open and close a pool for pool season, the summer season. We have to do the same thing with the fields at Bailey Park. So after the high school fall softball season is over, we will be closing our parks by the end of the month. Again, we want to thank everyone who came out and enjoyed our parks this year. We look forward to continuing to make improvements, and we hope to see everybody again at our parks again next year. Also, I also want to thank Joe Walkus and his crew for taking care of the parks and the other cities' property throughout the town. Thank you. Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to approve the Faith in Blue event at Bailey Park, October 7, 2023, sponsored by local clergy groups. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to authorize trick-or-treat in the City of Uniontown on October 31, 2023, from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to authorize the purchase of electric eel cables for sewer snake machine from Fayette Rental for $784. Mr. Billy?
So just a comment on these, we have two purchases that are on tonight's agenda. These purchases last year, at the end of the year, were purchases that needed to be made, especially the following. You know, being that we put it off last year, we are having a better handle on the budget than we did last year. So these, you know, being that at the end of the year, I don't want to see this get carried over, especially the resolution with the tires for the high lift. And this is just extra sections of cable that we need to have on hand in case of a break. Whenever our guys respond to a sewer line break or a clog, something that is obstructed, you know, as we're going in, and you know, this is something that if we lose it, we don't have anything extra to back up. You know, that could put the department in a pretty bad situation. So, yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to authorize the purchase and installation of 2 tires for City High Lift for $9,057.90 from Pittsburgh Tire Service. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to ratify approval of brake repair on Grumman Fire Truck for $1,291.40 from Burnsworth Garage, Inc. Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to adopt Bill Number 1770, proposed ordinance Number 1750, and ordinance establishing a recreation board for the City of Uniontown. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown to appoint Kelly Trott and Gregory Rudinsky to the Recreation Board for the following 5-year staggered term. Kelly Trott, October 6, 2023 through October 5, 2028. Greg Rudinsky, October 6, 2023 through October 5, 2027. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown, resolution of home program applicant. Resolution of the City of Uniontown authorizing the filing of an application for funds with the Department of Community and Economic Development, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Whereas the home applicant is desirous of obtaining funds from DCD for affordable housing activities fundable under Title II of the National Affordable Housing Act of 1990. Now therefore be it resolved that a housing need exists that has been identified in the local or state consolidated plan, and the proposed housing activity addresses this need. Be it further resolved that the home applicant has conducted the required citizen participation process. Be it further resolved that the home applicant will assure the provision of the other necessary funds to make the activity feasible. Be it further resolved that the home applicant will reimburse the Commonwealth for any expenditures found by DCED to be ineligible. Be it further resolved that the appropriate officer of the home applicant is directed to execute a certificate attesting to the adoption of this resolution and to furnish a copy of this resolution to DCED. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown 2023 CDBG submission resolution. Whereas under Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974, as amended, the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development is authorized to extend financial assistance to communities for activities which will benefit low and moderate income families, aid in the elimination or prevention of slums or blight, or other urgent community development needs. And whereas the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development has invited the city to submit an application for fiscal year 2023 in the amount of $311,565 for financial assistance under the Pennsylvania Community Development Block Grant Program. And whereas the City of Uniontown has prepared a budget as follows for the CDBG fund. Recreation improvements, Calvary Playground, $178,839. Demolition, $76,645. Admin, $56,081. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown, 1, that the PA CDBG program application, including the 3-year community development plan dated October 5th, 2023, is hereby in all respects approved. The city clerk is hereby directed to file a copy of said program application with the minutes of this meeting. Number 2, that it is cognizant of the conditions that are imposed in the undertaking and carrying out of community development activities with federal state financial assistance under Title I, including those under Title VI relating to the prohibition of discrimination because of race, color, creed, national origin, age, sex, handicap, or familial status, families with children, and other assurances as may be forthcoming from the state for the implementation of the program. 3, that if CDBG funds are determined by the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development to be expended on ineligible program costs or do not meet the national objectives, the city agrees to repay the proportion deemed ineligible from non-federal sources. 4, the mayor, on behalf of Uniontown City Council, is authorized to execute and file the application for financial assistance, and the redevelopment authority of the city of Uniontown is designated to act as the authorized representative of the city in accordance with the cooperation agreement between the parties dated November 17, 2022. 5, that the mayor on behalf of council is hereby authorized such assurances and/or certifications as may be required by the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended, and any supplemental or revised data which DCED may request in connection with its review of the application, and including any revisions necessary to bring the application into conformity with DCED's final grant for the city. Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown, a resolution of the City Council authorizing notification of the 504 officer and plan. Whereas Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability in programs and activities conducted by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development or by grantees that receive financial assistance from HUD. Now therefore be it resolved the 7th day of September, 2023, at the regular monthly meeting of the Council of the City of Uniontown, Pennsylvania, that a notice shall be published informing the public of the availability of the 504 officer and the procedure to make a grievance known. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
And Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown, 2023 recertifying procedural documents for use in the administration of the Community Development Block Grant Program fiscal year 2023. A resolution of the Council of the City of Uniontown recertifying procedural documents for use in the administration of the Community Development Block Grant Program. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown that the previously adopted documents have been reviewed and continue to be an accurate representation of the policies and procedures of the city. Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Have our monthly reports. Director of the Redevelopment Authority, Ms. Simmons.
Thanks.
Sorry. Thank you.
And I know I'm long-winded, but I did not draft those resolutions. Those are required drafts. They're very long. Okay, so on our agenda, our CDBG work group meetings was held September 29th. Our next meeting is October 12th. And I want to thank council for approving the CDBG application that be submitted. We actually have Brent Peck with us today, who is working with us at Calvary United Methodist Church. The application will be submitted for recreation improvements on the corner of Clark Avenue and Collins Avenue for a playground and basketball court. Final designs will be worked through, and ownership partnerships with Calvary United Methodist Church and East End Community Center are being discussed through the end of the month. I just wanted, before I continue with my report, if Brent, you wanted to say anything.
I have nothing to add.
So the project is pretty exciting. We held our second meeting, and it was well attended. I know for a fact that a lot of kids in the neighborhood's going to be really excited. They had great questions. They rode their bikes over and attended the meeting, and it was it's fun to see how the Community Development Block Grant Program can actually benefit a community. So that's what the application will be submitted for. We resolved today. I have a lot of forms for you to sign, Mayor, hopefully tomorrow or next week. We will submit that at the end of the month. The second activity that will be submitted is for demolition. This funding is going into our pot of money for the demolition funds. We'll be demolishing 80 Lemon, 55 Lenox, 84 Murray, and 39 Winona. The environmental reviews are in their final stage, so they're ready for approval. So that means that we can bid those out and have the contractors give us quotes on taking those structures down and leaving green space at this time. I handed out the quick glance sheet. The quick glance sheet actually outlines the new proposed program, and by that I mean the modifications to address expiring CDBG funds. So there were 3 projects that were not vetted out or kind of ready to go, and with the weather, they just wasn't going to fit. So those have been vetted out and reviewed. We've used some of the money to put towards Lemon Street Park for a pavilion. Lemon Street revision was approved, and the bidding will start October 30th. So with that approved extension, we'll have the pavilion to be added onto that area, and then we will demolish the 2 homes there, and we'll have some extra space, which will be a few more meetings and discussions to discover what we do in that vacant space, whether it be green space or area for the park or what have you. There'll be future meetings to discuss that space.
Hopefully new revenue.
Yes, hopefully. Definitely have a great area over there for it. In addition to the demolition and the changes to Lemon, we have 3 projects that we're proposing for modification. There will be separate modification hearings held throughout the communities. The grant would potentially fund Grant Street ADA restrooms and pavilion. So we could hope to see improvements to those restrooms and installation of a pavilion, a walkway, and a concrete pad. State Theater external rehabilitation. Through the discussions with the owner of State Theater, the outside of the building is in need of some rehab, the overhang and a cornice that needs replaced. So it's similar to slum and blight money, so that's why we can use those funds to do that. And the last is One Voice, One Community tutoring program. Currently the program does have funding allocated towards the endeavors of 180 Empowerment, and things changed from the 2 years ago that was developed, and now One Voice, One Community is open, and they are establishing a tutoring program for after school. This funding would pay for coaches, they call them coaches, but it would be staff, for so many hours a week to handle that after school program, which fills that gap of some other services. So each one of those activities will be advertised on Facebook and in the newspaper to ask for any comments related to the activities, and we'll hear those out, and it'll go through an entire formal motion, and it'll be at another meeting. Our projects to commence, we solicited engineering services and scored those proposals. We had 3 engineers submit, and K2 Engineering did score the highest of those proposals, and they were selected on September 20th. On October 10th, I think this Tuesday, we will have a sewage and transportation meeting follow-up, and with the engineer present. So at that meeting, we hope to discuss deficiencies that could potentially be submitted for a competitive application in February. I would like to submit for up to $1 million and ask for administration dollars around $100,000 to be able to administer that grant and other CDBG activities. Street paving and inventory will also be reviewed as part of that. Mapping, identifying long-range plans for paving, reconstruction, to have an idea of where our community development funds can fill in those voids moving forward. Also, the home investment partnership application was resolved to submit. It was submitted on September 15th. We send the resolution following that application. That application would be for existing owner-occupied housing rehab with $45,000 in administration, and I thought we'd find out in spring, but it turns out we'll find out in December, and I have a pretty good idea of how that's going to go, so I'm pretty excited to hear back in December. In November, there's an application for Pennsylvania Housing Affordability and Rehabilitation Enhancement Fund, which could potentially fund some housing projects. I just want to get that on the radar. That would be due November 17th if it's manageable by the authority. I follow that with the property that we have with the authority now. We purchased 14 properties off the repository. There's 6 structures on those properties, and we own several other properties in the city that are in need of either demolition or possible structure rehabilitation. In some instances, we own 3 or 4 properties along one street, which is turning into a vacant neighborhood. So what I hope to do is take a look at those properties and put together a plan for that specific street, which could be submitted under FAIR, like a Winona project or a Winona housing development where maybe it creates 2 single-family housing units, something small scale that we're able to do. So that's under review. Story Square maintenance. Story Square summer concert series came to an end. It went very well, and now it's time to discuss some agreements with the city. I tried to locate, and Kim and I kind of dug through the files to look and learn a little bit better about the cooperation agreement that we have with the city between Story Square, and we are going to start having those conversations of whose responsibility is what and how we move forward, because we'd like to do some development there and we want that to be ironed out to where we know that. So I do know that the yeah, and what's the thing above it? The
canopy.
Canopy, that it needs replaced. So we'll tuck that in along with the larger agreement that we review. The Downtown Uniontown Business District Partnership is going great. They are planning Christmas in the square, and the Redevelopment Authority has executed the cooperation agreement with them, so we'll be providing 4 hours a week to, at a cost to them, to provide what's needed to organize their meetings as of this point. We hope that it goes further, but as of this point, it's that. And then we're having great discussions for a larger economic development cooperation agreement with the city. Excited to talk more about their rental registration program, compliance management, potentially coming with the authority to be reviewed, and the potential budget allocation that we possibly could see in order to assist the city with their development needs, including the comprehensive planning process and blight remediation plan. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
Fire Department, Chief Kahn.
Chief.
Okay, folks, good evening. Wait till I get to the mic here, I guess. Okay, good evening, everyone. Council, thank you for your support of the resolution on this agenda. It's much appreciated. I have actually a pretty short report. Vince is like, yeah, right. It is. We've been very busy, but not a lot to report, though. I always start out with our fire-related incidents, rescue-related incidents. This month, for the month of September 2023, we ran 10 fire-related incidents, including 1 building fire. That actually was a mutual aid incident, too, so we were very fortunate. It's kind of a rare thing. We had no buildings on fire this month in the city. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. 1 cooking fire confined to the stovetop. 1 smoke removal from a fire that failed to ignite. 4 trash fires. 1 passenger vehicle fire, and 2 smoke scares, but no active fire resulted. Again, a couple of close calls, but fortunately it worked out in our favor. We had 30 related rescue-related incidents, 24 being motor vehicle collisions. 4 of those had injuries. 2 vehicle versus pedestrian accidents, 3 removals of an ill or injured person from a building, and 1 animal rescue. We had 9 hazardous condition incidents, including 3 combustible liquid spills, 1 refrigeration leak, 3 power lines down, and 2 short-circuiting electrical equipment incidents. 8 service-related incidents. These included 4 lockouts or gaining access for the EMS crews, 1 person in distress incident, 1 assist the police detail, and 2 general public service incidents. We had 1 malicious false alarm reported, 18 fire alarm activations. We witnessed 3 fire drills in a public facility, and as always included staff training, pre-incident planning, and building familiarization. And we conducted 4 public fire education programs. As far as training conducted or taken for the month, the department had 115 man-hours of training for the month of September. Again, it's a pretty good number. I'd like to offer out a special congratulations to one of our members, Ryan Kometz. He did a week-long at an on-site class at the Pennsylvania State Fire Academy. So that's a big commitment, so kudos to him. Our apparatus and equipment updates, you had passed the resolution last meeting about the ladder testing. That is scheduled. They're penciled in. They're going to start that September 9th. So again, thank you for your support of that. And then just a couple of miscellaneous things. As we reported last month, National Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. It's actually next week. We said that this year's theme is Cooking Safety Starts With You. As you can see from our statistics, we have a lot of potential kitchen fires every month too. So some good lessons to be learned there. You know, as always, I remind everyone we offer outreach programs and fire prevention activities all throughout the year. We just kind of up our A game in October. So if anybody has any questions, any thing that they want us to consult with, or wants to set up a program or an in-house tour or whatever the case may be, please call us down at the station. We're always more than willing to do that. And again, another reminder, I'd said last month that to remember that the season to change your smoke detector batteries is approaching soon. Change the clocks, change your batteries. Again, we're changing clocks still this year. So those of you that are still using the old school battery operated detectors, it's a good time to change your detector batteries. So I'd like for y'all to keep that in mind. And then lastly, what I close with every month, tonight, I think we all know, bingo. Doors are open right now. Games start at 6:45. And does council have any questions or anything? Again, I'd like to thank you all for your support. It's very much appreciated. I told you it was short on this time.
Until I read it.
Until you read it. Until you read it. That's it. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you. Yep.
Police Department, Chief DeWitt.
Start off with a couple thank yous, Mayor, Council, Kim, everyone involved with our testing process. Thank you very much. Thanks to the fire department for giving us the facility down there to use, and same with City Hall for allowing us to conduct our testing here as well. A very rapid process, and when you're dealing with 3 vacancies, they're going to rapidly hit us, and could, if we not fill those positions tonight, would probably take on the upwards, Jared, of what, $10,000, $15,000 over a month really quickly. And then we involve some safety issues because now we're burning officers out faster and not having the ability to work the shift safely. Those numbers hired tonight literally just staff us back to our complement, which is budgeted, and we'll be saving our sergeant's budget money because we won't be promoting this year. Hopefully next year after we can evaluate the corporals that are currently seating those positions to move up. Thank you to the fire department. One of those scares he was talking about, I was sitting in my station and our Freon line blew, and within about 5 minutes our whole station was full of Freon. The fire department came down and evac'd our building out for an hour and a half getting the stuff cleared out. Apparently that's not good for your body. Learn that. But into the report, thank you guys for that. Appreciate it. So during the month of September, the Uniontown Police Department responded to 815 calls for service. A breakdown of some of those calls included 24 vehicle accidents, 10 assaults, 3 robberies, 29 welfare checks, 24 domestics, 2 assist fire calls, 5 disorderly conducts, 19 emergency medical assists, 20 assist other police departments, 19 harassments. Again, a number I'm very proud of, 1 shots fired, 24 alarms, 74 suspicious persons, activities, vehicles, 24 thefts, 6 public intoxications, and 20 animal complaints. Officers made a total of 42 criminal arrests, issued 18 non-traffic citations, and 87 traffic citations. Officers also conducted the vehicle and foot patrols of the parks. One of the things that my guys have been saying, and I think we're going to have to talk about it with council, is getting our parks signed to be closed at dark. So we have enforcement action, and we can start to take some of this nefarious activity out of the equation that we're dealing with our parks, whether it be graffiti at Bailey Park or at Crane Street and things getting destroyed. Probably be a good move on our part. It would give us some enforcement action to take rather than just going down and saying, hey, get out of here. It would actually give us enforcement action to kind of give some teeth to work with. Same thing with Five Corners. We have a large homeless population hanging out at Five Corners West. There's some things we could probably do down there to make that, but those are conversations we'll have to where everyone's on the same page before the move is made. During the month of September, code enforcement closed 35 cases, opened 30 new cases, and carrying over approximately 23 cases from September. I can tell you that we as a department are happy that the city is moving forward with hiring a part-time code enforcement officer. Long time coming, needed to supplement the workload that Officer Camper has. And the benefits out of this with Wayne Brown retiring from the police department, he already knows the city. He knows the groundwork. He's done code enforcement here before. So you're not hiring someone new that's got to learn this process over. They've been there, done it. You're plugging someone into the system that's been unplugged from it for a while. So extremely beneficial, and we're going to be happy to have him back working in a different facet rather than a police officer. As mentioned earlier, Faith and Blues this Saturday from 1 to 4. I would strongly encourage you to be there. This is an event that our police department really looks forward to with the state police, the sheriff's office, and among other Love Fayettes and One Voice, One Community all come together for the good of the community. It's a kickball tournament. It's hyper competitive. When we coach it, we like to win. All right, no one likes to lose. But I look forward to having you. And if you have kids and they haven't signed up yet, sign up for the Uniontown Police Department team. Love to have them. Mayor, Council, any questions? Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief. Do we have a report from the Public Works? If not, time for public comment. Rules are on the door. 3 minutes. State your name and your address. Come to the podium. Do we have any public comment this evening? Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Hickle, and I keep coming in and coming in. I don't want to bore you with this. The overgrowth that's on the corner of Hickle Street and Sea Race Avenue, it's overgrowth. The part from Hickle Street to Route 40 is overgrowth. And also, I don't know how many times I've been in the Walgreens parking lot. They can't put curbs in there if they don't have the money for it. But there's 3 handicap spots there. They're always used by somebody that's not handicapped. And you have to walk through the parking lot to get sometimes to get to the park, get inside. The other day, I was coming in there, was no parking spot. I started walking. Some woman comes zipping by there and by the front door and went on her way. And I don't know if you could put something on Route 40, face up, and say no through traffic. They have the signs put up there. It says no through traffic. And they just keep running through there like it's a direction. And somebody's going to get hurt. There was a woman I seen about got killed the other day. There was a UPS truck there, and she walked behind it, and the car just slammed on the brakes and just about here. So maybe something could be done by putting that sign over there, because they can't see the ones which says no through traffic. They're facing south, and the one that comes in off of Mount Vernon Avenue, they can't see it because it's not where they can't see it. So maybe something could be done before somebody gets hurt, please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment this evening? If not, that's all I have.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Uniontown, the council hereby adjourns to meet November 2nd, 2023 at 5 p.m. Mr. Billy?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Mr. Shuhon?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes. Thank you all for attending.
That's a
Thank
wrap.
you.